Hello, let's have a discussion on a poem. The poem I have selected today is Preludes by T.S. Eliot. You all can download the poem. Let's discuss the 4 preludes written by T.S. Eliot. And Eliot, you all know, he is a modern poet, so we can have a brief discussion on modern poems as well, because his theme is based on modern era, right? So first of all, we have to have an idea what is a prelude. Prelude, in brief, prelude is an introduction, or it can be a prologue, or it's a small piece of writing, but overall you find one theme. It's a small piece of writing, or it can be an introduction. So basically, the Preludes by T.S. Eliot, there you find the thoughts and the observations of a badly off city dwellers, and also the aspects of everyday living, everyday life, the life in cities. So even though Eliot wrote this for a long time ago, even for today, you can apply what he has written. It's like into a certain extent, what he has written is the life that we are having today. It's our life, right? So the 4 preludes what he wrote, they are like you can divide the 4 preludes into 4 time periods of a day. The first, the prelude 1, it's about the time period is at dusk. Second prelude is a morning scene. Third one, it's a night scene, and fourth one, you find a late afternoon or late evening, right? Late afternoon, right? Okay, let's move on. So let's see the prelude 1, the first prelude, which is based on the at dusk, the scene at dusk, and it's a winter time. So with the time period, you find the observer here. In every prelude, you find an observer, and here you find the observer as an outsider. So the first prelude, it says, the winter evening settles down with the smell of sticks in passageways. 6 o'clock, the burnt out ends of smoky days, and now a gusty shower wraps the grimy scraps of withheld leaves about your feet, and newspapers from vacant lots, the showers beat on broken blinds and chimney pots. And at the corner of the street, a lonely cab horse steams and stamps, and then the lighting of the lamps. So, you find the observer as an outsider. He is outside. So, it's a winter evening and evening time, and the smell of sticks in passageways. So, the poet gives us the signal that the day is over and it is done. And when the day is over, the night time begins. The day is over. And the time is pinpointed. You find the time as 6 o'clock. And the word burnt out days, burnt out ends of smoky days. The days are smoky, dull, gloomy. And it's burnt out, suggesting the tiredness of the day. Tiredness, disgusting, very, it's like the disappointed, maybe like, it's basically frustrated, tired, tiresome and frustration. So, and now a gusty shower wraps the grimy, the rubbish of the town. Withheld leaves about you. So, still you find the autumn leaves on the feet. So, it must be early winter as you still find the autumn leaves on your feet. And the newspapers from vacant lots, the showers beat, so little raining, street is untidy, newspapers are blowing here and there, and the lonely cab horse steams and stamps, and at the same time, you find a lonely cab horse that gives you the signal somebody has come by the cab horse, and the horse is waiting. The loneliness of the horse can be suggested through the steaming and stamping. And there's a clue, you get a clue that somebody has visited, somebody has come by a cab horse, and then the lights on, the lights switch on, so somebody came to somewhere and the lights switch on. Then the second prelude, when it comes to the second prelude, you find a morning scene. It's a morning time. It says the morning comes to consciousness. The fact that morning comes to consciousness suggests that means at night you were in unconscious mode. You might be unconscious. A faint tale of smells of beer. Still you find the smells of beer. So morning comes to consciousness. That means the night you have drunken, and the smell of the beer still can get. From the sawdust tramples the street, and the streets are trampled. People walk on that and tiresome once again. The early coffee stands with other masquerades. Masquerade, you all know, it's like putting on a mask. We all when it comes to morning, when you walk around in the morning, you find very beautiful faces. But those beautiful faces do not tell you what has happened at night. Sometimes you might quarreled, or you were in a very bad mood at night. But when it comes to the morning, you once again get ready, put on makeup, and you wear a face. That is normal. Everybody we all wear a face. Nobody shows the real face to the outside. So as if we all are going for a masquerade, we all pretend to be happy, pretending. It's like a pretending life. The life even nowadays, this you can apply for the modern days, like the social media, the Facebook life. We are just pretending to the world. We upload the photographs and do a lot of things, and we are pretending to the world that we are happy family. We are happy. So the masquerade, what T.S. Eliot said that time, it's true. Pretending life, pretentious. So it's like a trick. You are putting on a trick. That time resumes, one thinks of all the hands that are raising dingy shades in 1,000 furnished rooms. But here the poet suggested another idea, it gives us a hint. The cab horse that came at night, the cab horse might have come for a prostitute, looking for a prostitute, a woman, and furnished rooms, it's a house where the prostitutes are living. So the person who came by a cab horse might come to meet a woman, a prostitute, and so the person might have spent the time at her place, and in the morning, by putting on a new face, he is moving outside. Then once again, when it comes to the stanza 3, the prelude 3, you find the night scene, what happened at night. You tossed a blanket from the bed, you lay upon your back and waited, you dozed and watched the night revealed. You refer to a prostitute, a woman who happened to sell her body as a job, right? So this is what happened at night. The 1,000 sordid images of which your soul was constituted, they flickered against the ceiling. So this woman, this is in brief, this prelude is the red light district of the city, red light area of the city, where the women have no other job. They are selling their body. That is not because they want, but because they have to do that to earn money. And also there are men who are willing to go and enjoy. And the flickering mind, the flickering light might be suggesting the hell. And when all the world came back and the light crept between the shutters. You heard the sparrows in the gutters. You had such a vision of the street as the street hardly understand. So this woman might know about this woman has a vision of the street. She knows about the street. She knows about the people. She understands about the people. But the pathetic side is the city, the people in the city would see the outside appearance of her, what she does, what is her job and all. Nobody will see, nobody will understand who she is. The inner person, the person inside her is blind to the reality. Nobody knows about her. So it is like very really pathetic how this woman suffers alone. And sitting along the beds where you curl the papers from your hair, like the makeup or the hair, the way she has set her hair at night, or clasp the yellow soles. When you clasp the yellow soles, suggesting you are dissatisfied. So she is dissatisfied because, and also it says, the palms of both soiled hands. Her hands are soiled. The mud or the soiled in her hands, the dirty hands, the uncleanliness. So dissatisfaction or lack of hygiene, lack of cleanliness, and how this woman suffers alone. That nobody understands why what is going inside, why she is doing this job and all. So that is the pathetic side of the city. And the last prelude, he comes to the late afternoon scene. The people move on. His soul is stretched tight across the skies that fade behind a city. So here the poet has done a personification. The poet has personified the city for a beggar. You all know the image of a beggar. City personified for a beggar. So the city, the soul of the city is lying, and the people walk on that. So it is like how people trampled, or how people destroy the soul of the city. That fade behind city, or tramples by insistent feet at 4 and 5 or 6 o'clock. The time is not exactly given. So the beggar may represent the lost conscience of the people, and what else? The people, like how people ignore the soul of the city, how people, how unpleasant the life of the people. They are just trampling on the soul of the city, and so to square fingers, stuffing pipes and evening newspapers and eyes. Assured of certain certainties, like fixed weaves. People do not have fixed weaves. The conscience of blackened street. The street has become blackened. The soul of the city that became black. The street is black in a moral, like the moral sense, as people ignore the conscience, the loss of touch with the human sense. Impatient to assume the world, I am moved by fancies that are curled around these images and cling. The notion of some infinitely, gently, infinitely suffering thing. So how suffering the life is. The struggle, or how people lost the conscience, how they have lost the sense of life. And the last, the last three lines of the poem, you find how the modern life of the human beings just moving on, and how monotonous the life is. Wipe your hands across your mouth and laugh. The worlds revolve like ancient women gathering fuel in vacant lust. So people reduced to seek, like people keep on having disparate lives. And the city dwellers, they are badly city dwellers. And the human life goes on cycles. Poverty becomes a part of human life. So the life is monotonous. Suffering has become part of life. and the poor quality of life, the quality of life degraded, what else? Human despair, or the human feelings, and the feelings of rejection or the failure, the misery and the poverty of the modern life, and the lack of conscience, and how pathetic, how disparate, how hopeless, and how monotonous the modern life of the man. So that's about T.S. Eliot's poem Preludes. I hope you all got an idea. I will share the poem at the end of this video. You all can download the poem. And most of T.S. Eliot's poems follow similar themes. So it's better as the students, those who are doing English literature as a subject, it is better if you can download some more poems by T.S. Eliot. Even for this syllabus, your new syllabus, you have a poem Morning at the Window by T.S. Eliot. Once again, a similar idea. So you can do this as an unseen poem. You can analyze this poem by using the points I have discussed. I hope you all have a good idea from this, and see you soon with a new video. Bye.